Hi, and welcome to Wampus Cat Football. The conference season is upon us. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by Coach Keith Fimple. And tonight, the Wampus Cats are on the road to a place that Coach knows very well, Fort Smith, Southside. We'll talk about the Mavericks and the Wampus Cats coming up in just a couple of seconds. But, Coach, let's look back over the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
A game and an off week, which is odd for all of
I
us.
tell you, it's brand new to the state of Arkansas, of everybody having maybe one and then having an open date. Some people at the very first taking the open date, then having the 10 games in a row. We had the 3 games in a row, of course, and then had an open week right before a conference. And how you treat that is always the big mystery of, since they started the playoffs and having a bye in that week there. So it's always a mystery how to treat that and how to do it. We chose to keep our kids on the pattern that they usually are on. Same schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday. We just gave them off Friday for the game, the actual day that they're actually playing.
Let's talk about those first 3 games, 3-0 in the non-conference. Team playing well, getting better. Do you see improvement every week?
I choose those things that we do wrong as coachable and teachable moments, and we are as a staff. That's what we try to concentrate on during the open week was, hey, we had this situation. Let's use it as a teachable moment. Let's go back and fix our technique and our fundamentals. So, again, it was a big week for us to fix us. And so, then you move on from there. So, again, having a bye week helped out tremendously.
One more thing before we get to the conference start. Your team last week on Thursday joined a lot of other Wampus Cat and Lady Cat athletes to help out at elementary schools. Talk to me about that a little bit.
It's one of my favorite things. Several schools from around the state do it. We had a bye week, of course, and wanted to get, my kids, which were mainly with my seniors.
Yeah.
We have 36 of them. Joined forces with the lady basketball team and the Wampus Cat boys basketball team, put them all together senior-wise, and sent them out to all 10 elementary schools here in the district. Again, just opening the door, learning to build ties with a strong community that, we had a chance to do during that open week there, so I wanted to make sure we got them out there.
Well, and a great way to keep your guys in front of the eyes of people because in this way the schedule goes, we're going a month before we're back home.
Oh, I guarantee it. So, again, it worked out real well. And, again, I mentioned quite a bit having an 8-year-old myself and him being around the guys. He looks at them as a role model type thing. So I wanted to make sure we got those guys out there. And my staff, were at every place there was kids. There was one of our staff members there to actually, help them along the way and get them straight. So it's good.
You got real high character guys that are playing really good football, but now it counts.
That's right.
It counts.
Now
Let's
it's a
talk
whole
about
different
Southside.
season. So you got your non-conference, and then you go into a whole different season, 0-0 basically, and that's what we've tried to preach to them all week this week. Southside, very experienced on offense. These guys, a lot of them have played 2 or 3 years for them. They have a lot of seniors playing on offense. On defense, different defensive coordinator, hired a new guy, have went through and put in a new scheme, and really playing hard. So look forward to a great contest, and we just got to keep doing what we're doing as far as finishing the games.
All right, we look forward to it. We'll kick it off soon. Conference season coming up. Conway at Fort Smith Southside on Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in Central Arkansas for overall hospital care. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our #1. And for us, that's the #1 worth celebrating. One team, one promise. Conway Regional. At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in the state for orthopedic care. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our #1. And for us, that's the #1 worth celebrating. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
And good evening and welcome to Fort Smith. It's raining, and it's raining hard, but the good news is there has been no lightning, at least for the last hour or so that we've been here, and so we are set and just moments away from kickoff from Fort Smith Southside tonight. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by Levi Gilbert. Stats. Scott Taylor is here. Our entire Channel 5 crew braved the elements. Our guys got here early and set up a couple of tents so that we've got some cover so we can bring you this game tonight. Already hearing from people in Conway who are thanking you and me and the rest of our Channel 5 crew.
Because it was us.
For taking one for the team.
Yeah, us exclusively.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
All
of our crew.
And but we are glad to be here. And if you're back home watching tonight in Conway, just make yourself comfortable. You probably know where the food and the drink and the restroom is. There at your place, and you should enjoy the night. We have got a good football team that's on the road tonight against Fort Smith Southside. The Wampus Cats are 3-0, ranked number 4 in the state. If you combine all the polls, there's a bunch of them. And Conway's the number 4 team in the state right now, Levi.
If you caught me in a candid moment in the preseason and asked, hey, Levi, after non-conference play, where do you think the Wampus Cats will be? I don't think I would have honestly said 3-0, but it's been a wild ride to get here.
It's been a wild ride. It's been some exciting games. It's been seeing this team finish those first 2 games. They come from behind victory against El Dorado and then in overtime and then holding on to beat Bentonville the way that they did in that game, just showing so much heart. And then 2 weeks ago, last game against Jonesboro, really taking care of a good Jonesboro team on the road. And so last week, a bye week. A little bit different circumstance, of course, for all of us, but now we're back at it. What kind of concerns do you have coming off the bye week?
Well, if you had said that I copied and pasted my concerns from the Jonesboro game onto my Southside notes, you wouldn't be quite wrong.
Okay.
Because it's very similar setup tonight. The Wampus Cats have to establish the run. I got a little stat here for you, Jeff.
Let's hear it.
In games that Kerry McLean goes over 100 yards, the Wampus Cats are 3-0.
3-0, right.
Now, granted, there's only been 3 games, but I'm sticking with that stat.
That's right. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, wet environment tonight. That's obvious from the start. So let's establish that run. Let Kerry McLean shorten this game because you want to keep that ball away from this Southside offense as much as possible. My second concern, protect the ball. Of the utmost importance. I think Conway's going to try and condense this game a little bit.
Yeah.
So any turnover is going to be problematic. Got to protect the ball. And then on defense, stay aggressive, but you got to contain Tay Gatewood for the Southside Mavericks.
Yep.
He's been all over the field in their first 3 games, and that's fine. He's going to get his. Just don't give up that big back-breaking play.
Number 5, Tay Gatewood, is who we're talking about, their senior quarterback. The captains for the Wampus Cats are out there. Number 33, of course, is Kerry McLean. Number 19 is Luke Williams. Number 28 is Adarius Washington. And number 22 is Deonta Bennett. Those are your captains for Coach Keith Fimple, who has got this team playing really well. They're 3-0. They're learning to trust each other. They have found different ways to win, and we'll see what they can do on what will be a slick surface tonight. And this is the same type of surface we have at home, so it's not grass in the sense you'll have mud to deal with, but you will have very slick turf. Those little black pebbles that are in there that kind of serve as the dirt portion of it, those will get wet. So you talked about it, just controlling the football, making sure you're being smart with it always. That's going to be so very important. Plus, anytime in the special teams game, when you're talking about a snap to a kick, or if you're snapped to a punt, that's something you have to make sure that those, and Reed Hughes as our deep snapper always does a great job, but make sure that those are handled in such a way that you're not giving up points or giving up precious field position. Conway's 3-0. Fort Smith Southside is 2-1. Their 2 victories came against teams who have not won games this year. They beat Bentonville West and they beat Rogers Heritage. Those 2 teams are a combined 0-6. They lost to Greenwood big, 52-27, to their little brothers, at least in size, just down the road here a little bit.
In size only.
That's it. Greenwood, of course, is the powerhouse that they've always been. And here come your Wampus Cats. Again, there's a lot of different polls. The Democrat Gazette has a poll that Jeremy Muck puts together. You've also got a poll that Hootens, of course, does. And then Fearless Friday and Arkansas Sports Media, that's a new poll. So of those 3 polls, 4 different voting units, the number 1 team in the state continues to be North Little Rock. Fayetteville's number 2, Bryant's number 3, and then this Conway squad is number 4. They're getting a lot of respect. They've made their way onto the field now, and we'll see what they can do in the first game that really matters. Conference is when it really matters.
Yeah, I'm glad they're getting that respect in the polls because there were a lot of questions coming into the season. New coach, a new system on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of question marks at linebacker. And, man, they have answered all of those questions and more and showed true resiliency in every single game during non-conference, just being able to either come from behind or close out a game like they did 2 weeks ago at Jonesboro.
A couple of housekeeping notes here. First of all, thank you for watching. Thank you for choosing to spend your Friday night with us, whether it's on Conway Corp Cable, Channel 5, or Channel 585 in our HD, or if you're anywhere on an internet-connected device, conwaycorp.com/WC2Go. That's how you watch tonight, and we're glad that you are doing so. And as we do every time that we're live now, which is every week, we'd love to know that you're watching. Let us know on Twitter, 5 Sports Live, on Facebook. We also understand the YouTube chat is open live, and so we're going to do the best we can to keep up with it. If you have questions, if there's things that we get wrong, I think we pretty much have everybody's pronunciation of their name right now into week 4. But otherwise, if you hear something that we need to correct, please let us know. But we love doing these games live for that reason as much as anything.
And we're not sensitive to that.
No ego here.
We're doing something wrong, we want to know.
I'd much rather know.
And we're already getting some happy fans.
What
we
you got?
Brandy Jones watching from Salt Lake City,
Hey, nice.
Utah, supporting son-in-law Coach Pankey.
Oh, Clay Pankey. He's part of the story tonight. And we'll get into that in just a little
Okay.
while. A former Fort Smith Southside. I believe he was a Rebel when he was here, because it's been a while since he's played here. But we will tell the story about Clay Pankey and how he fits into this storyline in just a little while. The Wampus Cats are going to get the football to begin the night. You talked about it, Levi. It's probably going to be a good, steady dose of runs. If that's the case, watch for Giovanni Johnson to run a lot out of the quarterback position. Kerry McLean will go to Luke Bailey. 2 weeks ago at Jonesboro, we saw 13 carries for Bryce Bohannon. So we'll see how deep they go with the running back situation. Short kick that is taken at the 20-yard line by Bryce Bohannon. Bryce cuts upfield to the middle of the field. Bryce Bohannon to midfield and more. Bohannon down inside the 30-yard line. An electrifying opening kickoff for Bryce Bohannon, and the Wampus Cats have great field position to begin tonight's game.
It's that speed from the sophomore that just causes so many matchup problems. Whenever he's on the field, doesn't matter if it's special teams or offense, and you saw Southside just over-pursuing, taking bad angles there, and he makes them pay.
Offensive line heading out to begin things here. Center is L.J. Hansberry. Left of him is Lance Rogers and Big Robert Scott. To his right is Zal Vences and Hayes Denton. Kerry McLean is set up next to quarterback Giovanni Johnson. First snap of the game, a run for Johnson. Giovanni Johnson into the secondary. Still on his feet. One play, one score. The Wampus Cats up 6-0, 19 seconds in.
Well, okay. that was nice and easy. I like it. Love Will McKenna out on the left side, blocking all the way downfield. Of course, didn't really need that block on the edge, but he was doing it out there.
In fact, that the drive was so short, I didn't get a chance to mention Will McKenna and Nick Richmond and the rest of the starters that were out there for the Wampus Cats at the beginning of the game. Will Hoag's extra point is up, and it is good. We've played 19 seconds, and the Wampus Cats are up 7-0. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5. Will Hoag will kick off. He was good on the extra point. He has hit all 14 of those he's attempted this year. And the Wampus Cats up early, Levi, 7-0.
It always gives you confidence, Jeff, when you can come out on an opening drive, opening play.
Yeah.
And it all started with the great field position from Bryce Bohannon on that return. But it makes you feel good as a Wampus Cat fan when you can score that quickly.
Hoag's kick will go deep into the end zone. Now, Will Hoag has become quite a weapon for these Wampus Cats. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavericks of Fort Smith Southside.
I've had conversations recently about I don't know what Conway is doing with their kicking, the special teams, just the kicking especially, but there's been such a run of great kickers come through in the last decade or more.
Kickers that have gone on to kick in college. Tony Pasalakwa is on the starting lineup along with Kane Aaron, Corlin McKinney. Those are your 3 down linemen. Starting quarterback is Tay Gatewood for Fort Smith Southside. High snap, he'll throw. Pass is complete. That is Solomon, Tyrese Solomon, pushed out of bounds. Got Randy Thomas and Roman Aaron over there. Tez Miller also on that side of the field. Malik Benton joins Roman Aaron as the safeties tonight. Reed Hughes, Parker Prock, Dwayne Smith. Got Tez Miller starting at linebacker tonight. And Tommy Grady gets the start. He's on the near side corner. Pass is low. That brings up 3rd down.
And I wonder if Tez might be running a little spy game on Gatewood.
Very well could be. Yep. Watch number 1. Tez Miller, one of our more dynamic defenders. See if he spies number 5. Gatewood is a talented quarterback. He will probably get a chance to play quarterback, but more likely running back in college. He has received offers from a number of Division II schools collegiately and interest from Tulsa, Arkansas State, and UCA. Gatewood looks to throw and does. The pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver. He was looking for Nathan Bogner, his tight end, and 3 and out. The Wampus Cats looking to get the football back.
Interesting strategy from the Mavs. It's obviously very wet conditions tonight, but coming out with 3 straight passing plays. And every one of them just a little bit, you can just tell the grip's a little off.
Well, and especially with the threat Gatewood is to run the ball. I'm surprised at that series of calls there. Nick Richmond and Bryce Bohannon are deep to receive the punt from Adam Puckett. He's averaging 37 yards a punt, and this one will not go 37 yards. In fact, it's going to roll backwards. Nick Richmond was trying to get to it and pick it up and run with it. Ball goes out of bounds, and Conway's going to have it again with fantastic field position for the 2nd time tonight, starting inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, wow. We've got a fan watching tonight from Israel in a lawn chair overlooking the Sea of Galilee, 3 a.m. It's Adam Lamy.
Oh, Adam Lamy, nice. Dr. Lamy on the school board. That probably wins for the sweetest spot you've ever watched the Wampus Cats
I know,
from.
right? Beat that, somebody.
For the rest of you in Conway, you're fine too, but hard to beat that. Thanks for checking in, Adam. Giovanni Johnson takes the snap and gets tripped up just inside the 25-yard line, down at the 23. Tackle is made by Bennett Weindle.
So far on the year, Giovanni's been the 3rd leading rusher with 124 yards, and you just expect with the conditions tonight and his ability with his legs that you're going to see a lot more of that tonight.
Nick Tufu's in the game at H-back. Handoff to Kerry McLean. Kerry to the 15-yard line.
Can see Kerry there already cradling that ball with both arms.
And you talked about it in your concerns. You've got to protect the football. Mason Gregory on the stop, and it's a 1st down. A Conway Regional Health System 1st down. Thanks to Conway Regional for their continued support of Wampus Cat Athletics and of Conway Corp's production of the Wampus Cats. We don't get to do these games without the support of Conway Regional Health System. We thank them. Handoff again inside to Kerry McLean. There's a flag down at the 10-yard line. Weindle makes the stop, but clock will stop with 10:31 to go. We've just played a minute and a half. That's all. We'll see what the flag is. We are in the stands on the opposite side of the home stands and the press box, and so the official, well, it looked like he was going to look this way and make the call. Now he's walking over towards the press box. Chop block going to be called against the Wampus Cats, below the waist. And so back the Cats up. Kerry McLean will lose those yards on the run. Again, 5 Sports Live is where you find us on Twitter. If you can beat looking over the Sea of Galilee, go ahead and check in. And if you can't, that's fine too. We'd love to hear from you.
Chris Patterson, former Wampus Cat, checking in, said this game last year was one of Conway's greatest, looking for another repeat tonight. That game still stresses me out just thinking about it right now.
54-47, double overtime. Our defense with a huge stand at the end to win that game. Good to hear from Chris. Snap to Giovanni Johnson. Loose ball. And from the reaction of the players, that's going to be a Fort Smith Southside football, and it is. So there's a fumble. We'll pay attention to turnovers tonight. First takeaway of the night, Eli Lyles gets the recovery, and the Wampus Cat defense, who just went 3 and out a moment ago, back out on the field.
Yeah, the Wampus Cats now -1 on the season with that fumble there. They came in tonight even in the turnover differential. They'd fumbled the ball 3 times, or fumbled twice, 1 interception, but the defense has 3 interceptions on the year, but now back in the negative.
Bogner in motion. Run to Savoy. Short gain, brought down inside the 30.
And those of you watching at home, we are having a little bit of difficulties with our scoreboard, our graphics system.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't been up yet. We are still streaming live, so no worries there.
Well, we can give you some updates here. The score is 7-0. Conway leads. 9 minutes and 45 seconds. The clock running in the first quarter. We're just underway from what has been a very, very rainy day and night in Fort Smith. Tez Miller tries to get the stop and can't on Gatewood. He steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Roman Aaron was close. Parker Prock trying to get him as well. And that brings up 3rd down again.
And I think we've pretty much pegged it there, Jeff, that Tez Miller is spying on Gatewood tonight.
Yes.
And I think that's a great strategy for this Conway defense. You got someone with the speed of Miller, the ability to close in. It's a good strategy having him all over the field tonight chasing Gatewood.
Darius Washington checks in. There's some movement. Looked like it was against the right tackle. And it is. That'll back him up. So 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 11. This Wampus Cat defense 3 and out on the first drive. Trying to make a 3rd down stop here. It's probably hard to tell how hard it really is raining. It's a real heavy mist right now, but it's coming down. No lightning in the area, though, and that's what we're hopeful for. If we get a couple of hours with no lightning, this game will be played to its conclusion without any delays. Gatewood looking to throw on 3rd and 11. Looking downfield. Tez Miller was there in coverage, and it looked like he was interfered with, going for the interception. No flags on the play. That's 4th down.
Great job there by Miller. If anything, he was being interfered with
Right.
by the receiver, grabbing his jersey. Great job by the senior there, keeping his feet, getting that paw up there on that ball.
Richmond and Bohannon on to receive the punt. It was not a good one the first time from Adam Puckett. Nine minutes and 13 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Better punt this time. Fair catch called for. In fact, both of them called for the fair catch. Covering all their bases. Good job, fellas. All right. Conway has the football now, 1st and 10. We are glad that you are with us tonight. Hope it's dry and comfortable where you are. If you're wondering about the rain, it's probably coming towards Conway if it isn't there already. And it is, again, so far the storms have stayed away, but the rain definitely is going to be a part of tonight's story. We've already seen it play itself out in the fumble by Giovanni Johnson on the last drive.
Yeah, great job by that Conway defense to come up, help their quarterback out, get the ball back for him.
McLean, this team's leading rusher, gets to the 40-yard line. He is brought down by Bennett Weindl and Martez Gaston. Their best defensive player is number 23. We haven't called his name yet. His name is Darren Davenport. He's getting some looks to play collegiately. He was All-State as a sophomore and then tore his ACL last year and didn't play at all as a junior. But now he is back and playing some good football for this team. Kerry McLean is playing some really good football for the team you root for. Over the midfield, down to the 45, move the chains, a Conway Regional Health System 1st down.
And you're seeing the smartness there by McLean is holding it with 2 balls until he gets a little bit of a lane and a breakaway. Then he's going back to his normal
run,
running.
Pump his arms a little bit. 1st and 10. Giovanni Johnson will run to the right. Into the secondary and more. Giovanni Johnson's going to score for the 2nd time tonight. We have played 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so Giovanni Johnson's found the end zone twice, and the Cats are on top 13-0.
This offensive line has just looked outstanding here in the first few minutes of play on both sides. Robert Scott, Lance Rogers, Hansberry, Hayes Denton there on the right side that time, just opening up a huge lane.
we
Giovanni.
were talking to Hayes' dad before the game, and he mentioned that his other son, the one that lives in Los Angeles, is watching tonight. And if that's the case, Hart Denton, who you may know as one of the stars of Riverdale, is a former Wampus Cat and Hayes' big brother. And Hart, if you're watching, thank you for the way you represent Conway and for watching tonight. Your little brother's playing good, and so are the rest of the Wampus Cats. Conway on top, 14-0. Just a few minutes into it in Fort Smith. Back in 30 seconds on Conway Corp Channel 5.
So I think we're going to have to keep it here during the breaks because of the technical difficulties.
Oh,
that
that involves the scoreboard?
Right.
All right, well then those 30 seconds, I take it all back.
You're going to stick with us for 30 seconds.
We can talk.
Yeah.
What do you, anybody? In fact, this is when we need the people back home to help us.
Yeah,
help
us
fill
out.
these little 30-second breaks. What do we got?
Ellen Turney making me blush.
What?
Jeff, she said, huge thanks to the best play-by-play and color man in the business.
What? Thank
Watching
you.
back in Conway.
That's very nice.
I think she's, being generous.
Well,
but I appreciate it.
Take it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. 5 Sports Live is where you find us on Twitter. Check in. Let us know that you're back home watching. Your Wampus Cats have gotten out to a 14-0 lead, and Will Hogue puts a second kickoff all the way into the end zone. Southside is going to have the ball for the third time. They have been 3 and out both times so far, this Wampus Cat defense, which is a staple of Keith Fimple's football mind, is coming out and playing great in these first few drives. A part of the story that we have not mentioned tonight is Keith Fimple's college roommate is on the other sideline as the head coach. Keith Fimple, his college roommate is Jeff Williams, who's the head coach of Fort Smith Southside.
Yeah, got to be a little strange coming up here this week for Coach Fimple.
Another run, and there's nowhere to go on that left side. Good job on the defense. Again, second down, a short gain.
Gain of 1, second down and 9.
Second down and 9. $7:52 to play in the first quarter. 14-0. The Wampus Cats are on top. Gatewood hands off to Savoy. There is nowhere to go. Great pressure by Daniel Seipert. Daniel Seipert stepped up and made the stop. The 5'10", 190-pound senior, his 7th tackle on the year. And it is third down once again. 14-0. Conway on top. 7.5 to play in the opening quarter.
I'm not the greatest with names and numbers, and it takes me even longer when we're talking about the defensive line because
Right.
we shuffle so many in. But it's just such a great problem to have.
Third down and 8. Southside 0 for 2 on third downs. Room for Gatewood, and he's going to pick up the first down and more. Steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and that is going to move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks.
Far sideline around the 42-yard line.
Seven minutes to play, opening quarter. If you're just joining us, the rain is heavy. It is affecting part of our broadcast, and we apologize for the parts that it's affecting. We're going to work here to fix those, and it may be a little while before we get everything back up, but we want to give you the broadcast of this game, and we'll just tell you everything that you would hope to know about this game.
Whoa.
How about that? Tez Miller got him. Tez Miller stood Ricardo Savoy up and put him down on the wet turf. It's second down, a loss on the play.
Tez Miller just showing off his strength there, arm strength of his legs to keep that base from moving, and he just takes on a blocker and gets around him.
Cade White into the game, number 8.
Yeah, Tez had to come off. I think something was up with his helmet.
Check him out and get him back on the field as quickly as possible. 6.5 minutes to play. First quarter. Handoff between the guard and the center with Savoy. He's to the 43-yard line. Brendan Graham there close to the play. Dwayne Smith, credit for the stop. It's third down.
Dwayne Smith.
Third down and 5.
Brings up third down.
Yeah, Coach Fimple and Coach Williams are very, very close. 5:50 to play. First quarter. Gatewood close to a first down. And we want to let you know something that we're going to have to take care of on the technical side, and it's going to cause us to have to be off the air for just a few moments. So we're going to give you a heads up on this because of some technical issues that are happening, a lot of it to do with because of the weather. We're going to have to go off the air for just a moment, and we're going to do that at the end of this drive. So at the end of this drive, we will stop, we'll reboot, we'll come back, we'll take care of watching everything that happens, and we'll update you when we get back on the air. But at the end of this drive, we'll watch our defense play here, and then we will have to.
Tay Gatewood's pass is complete. Number 47, Nathan Bogner.
All right, and we are back, and you ever had to Alt-Control-Delete your computer there at home?
Well, I have a Mac, so
I'm sorry.
little
you wouldn't know
different,
about that.
I'm just kidding.
Sometimes the hard boot is what I do there at my house. Anyway, the guys down in the truck, Wayne, Ryan, everybody else, good job. Looks like we're back on the air. That was quick. We just missed a few plays of Fort Smith Southside's drive. They still have the ball, and they are moving. Bogner made the catch of the pass from Gatewood. Savoy with a good carry down to the 12-yard line. Our score is correct there, 14-0 with 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Randy Thomas on the stop for the Wampus Cats. This is the start of the conference season. Tony Pasalacqua on the tackle. It's 1st and 10 Southside at the 15. Gatewood at quarterback. Low snap. He'll keep. And he is into the end zone. Tay Gatewood, he's a good one, and he showed it right there. 14-6 with the extra point coming. Connor Robles is their place kicker. 15 out of 17 this year, and we'll see how he can handle the wet turf. Try to cut this lead in half. It's 14-6 right now.
Yeah, defense is going to have to keep their heads up. They're going to get theirs. Oh.
They went for two.
Yeah.
And they did not get it. So the two-point conversion does not succeed, and it's 14-6. Conway leads. I'm assuming we can take a 30-second break here.
We'll find out. We'll find out shortly.
On Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in Central Arkansas for overall hospital care. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our #1. And for us, that's the #1 worth celebrating. One team, one promise, Conway Regional.
All right, so good. So that worked. We have our commercials that are running now. So things have turned around, despite the fact that Southside just scored.
Yeah, things turned around for Southside on that last
that's
drive,
right, for
too.
Southside on the drive and for us on the broadcast. So 14-6 is our score as Conway has the lead, and Luke Bailey's deep to receive. Robles will kick off for the Southside Mavericks.
So we see the Mavs go for two very early. Expect you'll keep seeing that because now they're going to have to.
Right. Interesting decision there for Jeff Williams. Robles to kick off. Line drive kick. Bryce Bohannon took the opening kickoff and had a nice return. Luke Bailey returns the football past the 20-yard line, and it is 1st and 10 at the 23 for the Wampus Cats. It is a slick football tonight, and that took a kind of a knuckleball type hop. So a really nice play by Luke Bailey to come up with that and pick up some positive yardage. Will McKenna and Nick Richmond are in the game at wide receiver. Slade Smith is the tight end just to the right of Hayes Denton. And Nick Tufu is your H-back. Giovanni Johnson is your quarterback, and he has already scored twice tonight.
carries the ball over the 30-yard line. It's second down.
He's so shifty, and he's got those long legs that if he's good at making people miss anyway, but especially tonight when it's a little bit more slippery. All he needs is just a little lane. We've already seen it twice.
2 minutes and 22 seconds, clock running there on your screen. Handoff and a lot of room. Nice run by Kerry McLean, the leading rusher for the Cats. Moves the ball to the 44-yard line. That's good for a first down, a Conway Regional Health System first down.
I'll tell you something that Kerry McLean's been doing so much better this season is just running full steam ahead. And he seems like he's even faster this year than a year ago.
Showing it again. Hard run to midfield. He is brought down by Mason Gregory. Coming into this game, following the first 3 games of the season, Kerry was just outside the top 10 rushers in the state. Number 12 is where he fell. Already a nice night tonight. We'll see if he moves up those ranks after week 4. Another chance here for McLean. Following his blockers. Weindel throws him down, but not before he picks up a first down. A Conway Regional Health System first down for the Wampus Cats.
Zalvince is pulling guard there, and Kerry just running right behind his trusty offensive lineman there.
And what we've seen Brian Rainey call tonight, all runs. Have I forgotten a pass?
No
Okay.
passes so far. You're right.
I tend to forget things, so I'm making sure I didn't forget anything.
Be interesting to see some play action with the H-back.
That's Nick Tufu, who's set up to the right behind Hayes Denton. Instead, the run to the near side. Giovanni Johnson thrown down out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Martez Gaston on the stop.
And it's all part of Conway's defensive strategy, really, is the best defense against Tay Gatewood is to keep the ball away from him.
That's right, him on the sideline.
Yeah, keep him over on the sidelines as much as possible.
Second down, 6 to go, a 4-yard gain on the previous play. Kerry McLean again, left side. Moves the ball to the 35. And honestly, this is exactly what the Wampus Cats want to do. Pick up about 3 or 4 yards each play, run another 30 seconds off the clock, shorten this game, do a little Cabot impression. That's our next road game in 2 weeks. Next Friday night, hope you can come out to John McConnell Stadium. The defending state champions are in town. North Little Rock against Conway next Friday at home. Third down, and it's Giovanni Johnson. That should be enough for another first down. And it is. That's a similar run that he fumbled the ball earlier. Held on to it there and moved the chains for the Wampus Cats. Cats on top 14-6, half a minute to play in quarter number 1. Forecast called for 100% chance of rain during the evening on Friday night.
They were right.
They were right. Lots of rain falling right now at Jim Rowland Field. Luke Bailey is met at the 35-yard line. Jeremiah Van Hook beat his man and got to Luke Bailey about the time that Bailey got to the ball. Nothing he could do with that.
So here's where things get interesting for this offense. They haven't had to pass yet.
And they're going to have a chance to talk about it as we've reached the end of the first quarter. Let's take 60 seconds and we'll come back to Fort Smith on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Hey Wampus Cat fans, David Grimes here. I'm a big fan and a proud member of the Wampus Cat Booster Club. And now is a great time to join the Booster Club. Booster Club members get to vote to help induct the class into the new Wampus Cat Sports Hall of Fame. To find out how you can join, go to ConwayWampusCats.com and click on Inside Athletics. Believe me, there's never been a better time to join the Conway Booster Club.
This is my home, and here's my hot water heater, located right above my living room. And here's the mess it made when it leaked. Really leaked. Kind of throws off the ambiance, don't you think? Well, I stayed calm and called the experts at All Clean Restoration, so here it is. My living room before the water damage, and my living room after. Or Or as I like to think, my living room before all clean, my living room after all clean. All Clean Restoration, proudly serving all of Arkansas.
Pediatric medical center in the state and one of the largest in the United States. Arkansas's Children's Hospital serves children.
Back to action now for the start of the second quarter. The Wampus Cats with a really good first quarter lead 14-6, Levi.
145 yards of total offense, all on the ground. Really easy to break that one
Yeah.
up.
And Giovanni Johnson is perfect through the air. Luke Bailey, nice run for Luke behind the offensive line. Zal Vences and Hayes Denton over there to the right. I say that Giovanni's perfect through the air. 0 for 0.
Yeah,
0 for 0.
That is perfect. You're
Yep,
right.
yep.
96 yards rushing already for the senior tonight, and 2 touchdowns. Kerry McLean not far behind, 51 yards in the first quarter on 6 carries.
It is third down. 3rd and 7. They faced second and long. First passing situation we've seen. We'll see what they do here. It's a run. Giovanni Johnson looking to pick up 7 yards. He'll get to the 25. That's going to be a couple of yards short.
On the tackle, number 28 for Southside.
The wind and the rain is blowing from the right to the left as you are looking at the TV screen. And so this would be a pretty decent length field goal anyway, but also into that prevailing wind. And so the Wampus Cats are going to choose to go for it here on 4th and 4. 4th and 4, the Cats pass. Complete to Bryce Bohannon. Bryce will be short of the first down. So Giovanni Johnson completes his first pass of the night. It's a safe pass, a little flare pass out to Bryce Bohannon, but not enough as Wandell brings him down. And the Mavericks offense back on the field.
I think we might see that variant again later because there was a whole lot of space over on the left side out in the flats. I think it was McLean going in motion over there.
I'm sure the coaches will pick up on that as well. 10.5 minutes to play. We are in the second quarter from a rainy Fort Smith tonight. We are very thankful our crew got here early and set up a couple of 10-by-10 tents, so we are in the dry as we were able to broadcast the game from the visiting press box. I say visiting press box, it's actually the stands with these 2 tents set up. Savoy on the carry. Corlin McKinney makes the stop, and it is second down. I talked about Kerry McLean being the 12th leading rusher in the state. Ricardo Savoy, the running back for the Mavericks, is just a couple of spots behind him. He's 14 on the state's rushing list. Gatewood will hand off to Savoy. Kicks it out. Might have lost a yard or 2.
You and I talked on the way up here about we were trying to remember if Tate Gatewood had a Conway connection because we thought we had talked about that a year ago.
Yeah.
And
has that been confirmed?
It's been confirmed again.
Okay.
Yeah, his mother, Tessa James Gatewood, is from Conway.
Okay, very good.
So a lot of connections between
exactly.
Fort Smith and Conway on the field tonight.
Well, we haven't even gotten to the Clay Pankey connection yet, which we teased earlier. So we'll do that the next time our defense is on the field.
Keep on teasing.
Keep on teasing?
Yeah, just keep on teasing.
Okay, till there's a timeout. I should do it right now.
Let's do it.
Okay, Clay Pankey is an assistant coach, first-year assistant coach for the Wampus Cats. He's here with Coach Keith Fimple. Well, Clay Pankey was the subject of a tweet this week by one of the sports writers for the Southwest Times, which is the Fort Smith newspaper. They have a defensive back, Jalen Coleman, who had 3 interceptions last week. The last time a Fort Smith Southside player had 3 interceptions in a game, it was Clay Pankey.
Oh, okay.
So that's the connection. He was the last one before Jalen Coleman a week ago.
So it's been a while.
And 3 picks. It has been a while. He's a pretty young man, but yeah, it's been a little while. But Clay Pankey was talking to Coach Fimple about both Clay Pankey and Marquise Rogers. They're the 2 youngest guys on the staff, and Coach Fimple said he really leans on them to connect with these kids. They're closer in age. They probably have a lot more street cred.
They might play some Fortnite.
They might play some Fortnite, right? They might know the dances, Orange Justice and the whatnot. And so that's a Fortnite dance.
Oh,
by the way.
I was wondering what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, it's a Fortnite dance, and so yeah, so that's part of the role that they play is connecting with these kids. So it's all working, right? Cats are 3-0 in the season, leading 14-6 here in Fort Smith tonight. And if it was possible, the rain has picked up. Gatewood slings it, incomplete. Flag comes in.
And 2 flags on both sides of the field.
Colton McBride was the intended receiver for Gatewood. See if there's one on each side here. It was 3rd down. I think it's going to be on them. Yeah, Stats sitting to the left of us. Illegal man downfield. And it is going to be declined, so it is 4th down. So the Wampus Cat defense, after giving up a long drive to the Mavericks last time they were on the field, stepped up and played really, really well right there.
Yeah, big confidence boost right there for the defensive unit. And, Jeff, you're not kidding, man. It is really coming down now.
And, again, I don't know if you can tell on our cameras, and we've got our cameras tucked underneath these 2 10x10 tents that we've got in the stands. But normally if our camera could get a shot of the lights, you could see how hard it's raining. But just trust us.
Offsides. Back them up a little bit more.
The punter was just outside of the camera range there. 9:26 to play in the first half. Cats 14, Mavericks 6. They've already announced that it's going to be a short halftime, right? Did they say that earlier, or is that wishful thinking?
I think it's going to be a true 20-minute halftime.
Oh, okay,
Instead of what we normally have.
Right, it's closer to 30.
Right.
Yeah, neither band is here. Neither band will perform. I don't believe that the dance team is going to perform for Southside. There's their punter, and that one is a high punt that bounces off of the chest of Nick Richmond, and it is going to be recovered by Southside. And this is going to be one of those nights, especially looking that direction. Nick Richmond was just looking into the heaviest rain of the night, coming the same direction as the football.
His face,
right.
And it was such a high punt, too. I mean, great job by Southside there.
Yeah, their punter is Adam Puckett, and he is a good one. So the second turnover of the night by the Wampus Cats gives the football back to the Mavericks, Fort Smith Southside. I want to say thanks to everybody watching. Natalie Schock from UCA, she checked in. She's watching us tonight. I know Steve-O's watching, another UCA guy, of course. Voice of the Sugar Bears and the Bear baseball team.
Yeah, Steve-O, my former employer.
Yeah.
Zach Mills watching. Got to love seeing the offensive line play so well.
Hey, nice. Good to hear from Zach Mills. Former offensive lineman for the Wampus Cats.
So take that with a grain of salt.
Which part?
He's bragging on the offensive line because he's an offensive line. But he would know. He would know good play when he sees it.
First down and 15. Solomon in motion. Handoff to Savoy. Nowhere to go. How about that defensive play? The defensive line says, don't forget about us.
Right.
Corlin McKinney and Kane Aaron. Tony Passalacqua on the defensive line with the other two there, Aaron and McKinney. Loss of 1, 2nd down and 16.
If you are watching on YouTube and you're on a device where you can see the chat, it's like a little Conway community out there right
nice.
now.
How's everybody? Dry, safe?
Seemingly happy right now.
They should be. Up 14-6. Gatewood looks to throw. To the near side. Pass is short.
Did he get it?
Did he get it? Oh, Roman Aaron had his arms under it. Everybody on the Conway side said it was an interception.
He's trying to sell it.
Roman Aaron looking to join Malik Benton and Reed Hughes with interceptions this year. It is 3rd down and long, 3rd and 16. The ball at the 49-yard line. Tay Gatewood is their good quarterback. 6'2", 190-pound senior. He played running back as a sophomore, and he's quarterbacked this team the last 2 years. Passes high, sails on him as he tried to get Eric Schwartz. Tommy Grady there on the defensive coverage, and it is fourth down. So Nick Richmond and Bryce Bohannon will head back, and it's the same situation. And in fact, I spoke too soon. The rain has picked up.
Yeah.
It's actually raining harder now. And again, it's blowing the direction that the football is going to be coming down. If they had pockets, they should put their hands in them. Low snap, loose ball, still loose. Conway is going to pick up the football finally. Got it.
Nice.
Wampus Cats get a turnover of their own, and they've got great field position at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Who came out of there with? Is that Riley Morales, number 3? Yep, Riley Morales.
Well, finally, slippery hand syndrome goes the way of the Wampus Cats.
Yes.
Here in the first half.
Yeah, the SHS has definitely been just us so far. This slippery hand syndrome has affected the Mavericks. 14-6, Conway on top, and they've got the football after a bit of a rain-induced break there. The snap was low, and Puckett unable to control it. 7:55 to play in the first half. Giovanni Johnson. Design run to the right. He tries to cut it back to the left. Nowhere to go. Darren Davenport, their talented linebacker that we were talking about earlier that missed all of last year with an ACL injury. He is back this year and playing some good football. He was offered by Ouachita Baptist back in the summer. I don't know what we did as far as prep goes before Twitter. I'm so thankful for these kids and their Twitter accounts. We're able to learn so much about them. Kerry McLean carries the ball.
You probably just made stuff up.
Oh, before Twitter?
Yeah.
I mean, some, yeah. I might dream a little bit for the kids.
Yeah, you just embellished a little bit.
Not now. Everything is documented there on the Twitter. All right, 3rd down. 7 minutes to play in the first half. The Cats scored, make it 14-6. 14-0. Then the Mavericks scored to make it 14-6. That's where we've been for a little while.
Rain and the wind now picking up.
Yep. Wind blowing from right to left. Giovanni Johnson throws. Pass intended for Nick Richmond. There's just all kinds of connection out there that isn't necessarily of the legal variety, it looked like.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a little on both sides. So
That's
they're just kind of letting them slug it out there on the edge.
Once again, just like we talked about earlier with the kicking team, kicking into that strong wind and rain, even throwing the ball, you kind of see it kind of floated on him just a little bit. So 4th and 8. Cats will go for it as they're going into the wind and rain. Johnson will throw. Giovanni over the middle. It's tipped. It's incomplete. And the Mavericks will take over. 1st and 10.
Ball's incomplete. Mavericks take over on down.
Wampus Cats coming off the field. They'll find a little shelter under the 2 tents that the Cats have set up at midfield. We'll talk about it.
Challenge for Conway here is that you kind of have to be a little one-dimensional with the elements and just the overall strategy of trying to shorten the game a bit. But Southside's picking up on, they're starting to see the same plays again and again, starting to pick up and get stops. Conway's going to have to get even more creative.
So 1st and 10 Mavericks. Gatewood keeps, and he has got room. Cuts it upfield. Tez Miller trying to catch him, and he will. Gatewood. Nice job to see an opening, and he cut it back over the Maverick logo at midfield and picked up big yardage. It's 1st and 10 Southside.
Those are those back-breaking plays we talked about. Just he's got that ability with his arm and his leg. His arm a little bit more neutralized tonight.
6:22 to play, first half. Cats are leading 14-6. The Mavericks are threatening. Savoy Flies through the middle of the line down to the 6-yard line.
On the tackle, number
For the first
11,
time, I think you can really kind of see the rain on our cameras there, looking down to that far end.
Ball marked at the 6. First
And
goal, Southside.
that certainly doesn't do it justice. Miserable conditions here tonight, said the guy sitting under the tent. Gatewood. Savoy nowhere to go. Nice job by the defensive line, closing up that hole quick.
Once again, the ball carrier for Southside.
Kane Aaron
On the tackle, number 98.
and Tyree Ross.
This Southside offense gets a little challenged in the red zone with the shorter field, not as much space
Right.
to operate in. This Conway defense, they could get a defensive stand here, maybe force them to a field goal.
5.5 to play, first half. Live tonight in Fort Smith. Thank you for joining us. Cats up 14-6. Savoy, nowhere to go. Dwayne Smith comes up with a huge play. It feels like every time we call Dwayne Smith's name, it's in a third down situation. It's in a pressure-packed moment where he just seems to make play after play.
And he's in the backfield.
Yes, always, always.
Smith lost back.
So it is fourth down.
Third down and goal from the 12.
Third down and goal from the 12. And once again, it's worth mentioning, as long as it's raining hard, we'll just deal with it. It's the lightning that will empty the stands and cause a delay. A fake and then a throw. That just never developed. Now flags are thrown in.
Pass ball is incomplete, but there are flags in the end zone.
The official will talk to the head man and let him know. Looks like it is going to be against Conway.
Not even sure that ball was catchable.
Pass interference called against the Wampus Cats. Going to repeat third down.
No, it's going to be.
Well, the referee looked like he
I
said.
think he was calling it on.
Distance down
Oh,
to the
saying?
6-yard
Yeah,
line.
on number 3.
I don't think number 3's on the field.
Third
Well,
and goal.
I guess
Yeah,
they
it
are
is.
being
They're
done.
saying third and goal. Yeah, normally that's automatic first down, isn't it? Or am I combining my college and pro rules?
This is the
Anyway, I'll
PA,
trust it.
PA problems here.
Yeah. Third and 6. Gatewood throws wide open.
Touchdown!
Tyree Solomon
Southside.
lost his man and was wide open in the corner of the end zone.
Tyree Solomon,
And it's 14-12.
6-yard touchdown pass.
Conway defense, after coming out strong first few possessions, they're going to have to collect themselves on the sidelines.
2-point play be attempted here to try to tie the game up.
To attempt the extra point for
No, they're not.
Southside.
They're going to kick an extra point. Well, that's odd. They didn't try to attempt an extra point on the first touchdown, and this time, instead of trying to tie it up, they'll just try to cut the lead to 1, which whether you're up 1 or whether you're up 2,
The kick is
unless
up.
my football math is wrong, doesn't really matter. All right, 14-13 as the kick is good. 4:41 to play in the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Centennial Bank builds relationships. That's why our bankers roll up their sleeves to support Conway and Faulkner County. They are folks you know and value for mortgages, business loans, and all your personal banking needs. Community involvement and exceptional service from people you know. That's the Centennial Bank way. Centennial Bank's legacy started right here in Conway and is still growing. Centennial Bank, building legacies, one relationship at a time.
So it's 14-13.
Robles in kickoff formation for Southside.
Robles will kick off for the Mavericks as they cut the lead to 1. And I know you think I'm making this up. It's raining harder.
Yeah, it it really is. Yeah, it's wet out there.
It is it's as wet as it could be. Line drive kick will bounce into the end zone, and we'll let it go there safely. And the Cats will take over first and 10.
Will come out to the 20, where Conway will take over first and 10.
So 2 weeks ago, we expected this in Jonesboro, and we really kind of dodged the bullet for a while, and then the rain started late in the game. But really wasn't much in the way of nothing like this. And obviously hoping to avoid any sort of lightning delay tonight. Thank you for watching back home. If you're watching on Channel 5 or 585, or if you're watching online anywhere around the world. If you missed it earlier.
Israel.
Yeah. Adam Lamy checking in from Israel. Handoff. Kerry McLean. Kerry, boy, what a great run by the senior to the 32-yard line. And it is going to be 1st and 10 at Conway Regional Health System. First down for the Cats.
I can't imagine the amount of coordination and balance you would need to stay up in the rain.
Yes.
Let alone just running the ball and getting hit by defenders.
Hit by people that want to injure you. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Will McKenna wide to the left. Nick Richmond on the near side. Another run. Another Kerry McLean run, and he crosses the 35. That'll keep the clock moving. Cats are up by a point. Darren Davenport on the stop. For Coach Jeff Williams is the head man for the Mavericks. Keith Fimple, head man for your Wampus Cats. His first time as a head coach is this year. Been an assistant in the high school ranks for 2 decades and got his first head coaching job, and got to feel like it's pretty easy. 3-0 so far. Now playing his best friend's team. Handoff. That's Luke Bailey. Going to be stopped. And it will be 3rd down.
Cats looking a little confused on the field last few drives. Haven't seen them very often this year yet. Look just kind of unsure. Yeah.
I would think just the concentration alone that a night like this requires, and it's so easy if you don't have the mental focus to be in on every single play, and you know how it works. You've got to be. For a football team to work, all 11 guys have to be on the same page every moment. There's that pass to Bryce Bohannon, very close to a 1st down.
And give some credit to L.J. Hansberry. As you know, this isn't an under-the-center offense ever, but it's even harder when you're in the rain, and we haven't seen one bad snap.
Nope. Yeah, L.J. Hansberry, a 2-year starter at center, doing a great job. So that play did move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats, leading by a point, 14-13. Cats scored the first 14 of the game, and now 13 straight by the Mavericks, and a flag going to be against the Wampus Cats.
Man, that official on the far side, very vigorously.
Very animated, wasn't he?
Yeah. Spinning those arms.
Ball will move back to the 37-yard line.
Ball at the 37-yard line. I want to remind you, next week, Conway at home against North Little Rock, the defending state champions.
We expecting more rain next week?
I hope not. 1st and 15. Johnson will run the football. Running right over L.J. Hansberry, and between he and Zal Ventus, got a big chunk of that back, so it's 2nd down and manageable.
That's going to put him over 100 yards tonight, all here in the first half. Both quarterbacks on each side leading rushers tonight.
2 of the more athletic quarterbacks that you'll see. The folks at Hootens.com, who covered high school football for a very long time, called this their 7A game of the week, in large part because of the quarterback play. Nowhere to go there.
Giovanni Johnson taken down in the backfield.
Cole Altus with the stop. It's a loss on the play, and it's 3rd down.
Would love to see some more motion, maybe a sweep, just anything to kind of keep that defense on their heels a little bit.
Right.
They're playing very confidently downhill here in the 2nd quarter.
3rd down. Luke Bailey behind Giovanni Johnson. Pass looking for Will McKenna. Flag comes in. Will McKenna was the intended receiver. In on the coverage was D.D. Smith. And it looked like D.D. Smith may have gotten there a little too early.
If you're going to call it on one end, got to call it on the other end.
Pass interference called against Southside.
So it is against Southside, and now it is a first down. I'm not sure what the call was on that other end when they called the pass interference, but it wasn't. You know who we need? Brooks Smith.
Well, he has already tweeted at us
good.
tonight,
Okay.
just letting us know your armchair official is watching with a bowl of popcorn.
Stay dry and
So
be careful.
We'll see if he's
yeah, we need to
chimed
know
in.
about that on the Luke Bailey. Good run by Luke Bailey down to the 27-yard line. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats and Luke Bailey. That's a Conway Regional Health System first down. So yeah, our question for Brooks is, on the play that went to
the pass interference
pass
in the end
interference,
zone.
right.
How
They said
come that wasn't an automatic first down?
And the announcement was half the distance to the goal, and then it remained third down. So unless it was not interference. Luke Bailey again. Luke spinning. Great run. Look at that. Luke Bailey, 5'10", 180-pound junior. Great run by Bailey. And the Cats are on the verge of getting back in the end zone. Just a little more than a minute to play in the first half. Feed him again. Bailey to the 6.
Ball carrier number 25, Bailey, tackled by
Conway with 2 timeouts here. Clock winding down.
Eli Lyles on the stop.
Ball marked at the Mavs 7-yard line.
Ball at the 7-yard line. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Giovanni Johnson. Designed run. Will be pushed back.
Johnson on the keeper, led by a host of Mavericks.
And it's second down. Or corrections, at third down. Now a timeout will be called.
Timeout.
They'll call a timeout here, and we will take it with them. 30 seconds, and we are back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in the state for orthopedic care. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our #1. And for us, that's the #1 worth celebrating. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Final 24 seconds here of the first half. You know, it's a crew of a dozen of us that do these Wampus Cat broadcasts.
The Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen, yeah. You hear us the most because we're the ones with the microphones, but it's a huge crew, including someone who is back in Conway every single game, Austin Ferguson, who works for us at Conway Corp. Well, he makes sure that the game gets on the air. Well, he just tweeted at us and said you can hear the rain in the background.
Which is impressive because we don't even have a crowd mic tonight,
No.
so it's coming over our headsets.
So when we're saying that's raining harder, then I'm glad to know that at least you can hear it back home. All right, Giovanni Johnson with the snap and the carry and the touchdown. Giovanni Johnson, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night, his 5th rushing touchdown on the year, and the Cats extend the lead to 20-13.
Yeah, give more credit to Hansberry and Ventus and Denton, everyone over on that right side, creating enough of a gap for Giovanni to finish it the rest of the way as he uses those legs, those long legs, to plunge himself into the end zone. His 3rd touchdown tonight.
Reed Hughes snaps and Nick McEwen holds for Will Hoag's kick. All of it is successful, and the Cats lead 21-13. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Southside 13.
There's only one place in Arkansas to get a delicious grade A choice chuck steak burger cooked to perfection and served with unlimited hand-cut Idaho fries. David's Burgers. Dine in or enjoy on the go with our takeout. David's Burgers is the right choice when the craving hits.
The Wampus Cats with a big score as we near the end of the first half. They lead 21-13 now. Will Hogue about to kick off, and the Cats will look to shut down the rest of the first half.
Giovanni Johnson now 112 yards rushing on the night on 14 carries, 3 touchdowns for the Wampus Cats.
He had 124 yards rushing coming into the game, or to the season. Loose ball! Conway recovers. Absolutely, Conway recovers. That is Juan Scaife. Is it the slippery hand syndrome?
That's
the
what
SHS?
I said. Yeah. That's what I said earlier. Yeah.
Yes, we should do those rubber bracelet things that people do for when there's a cause, because there needs to be something to draw attention to the SHS. The slippery hand syndrome strikes again, this time against the Mavericks, and the Wampus Cats have the football with 18 seconds to go.
Yeah, and credit to the strategy there with Hogue, just a perfect little pooch kick, high up in the air, a lot of spin on that ball. It's hard to catch these balls in these conditions.
And Jeff Williams wants a timeout. All right, let's take a timeout with them real quick. 18 seconds to play in the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in the state for women's health. Plus, we're the only hospital in Conway using state-of-the-art 3D mammography. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our #1. And for us, that's the #1 worth celebrating. One team, one promise, Conway Regional.
So the Wampus Cats get the football back. A kickoff following the touchdown by Giovanni Johnson, his third of the night. And it bounces off the hands and the chest of the returner.
So
Juan Scaife falls on it, and the Cats have it 1st and 10.
We've got another armchair referee on our staff.
What?
As Justin informing me. He doesn't
Media,
think
social media, Justin?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not necessarily an automatic first down. It's a 15-yard penalty because they were already third down inside.
Okay.
That's his thoughts. We'll see.
Giovanni Johnson to throw. Looking over the middle. He's got a man. Well, that's a good defensive play. Knocked away by Mason Gregory, and he saved a touchdown right there. Nick Richmond had gotten open, lost his man. And that's a situation where I'll guarantee you the elements kept that pass from being as crisp as it normally is. It kind of floated on Giovanni a little bit. Gregory able to get there and knock it away.
And you'll see, be interesting to see how far downfield they try to go here, if they just try to get a little bit more field goal range.
Johnson to throw, looking back. Now he's going to run. Giovanni Johnson still running.
Got to get down.
Gets inside the 20-yard line.
Timeout.
3 seconds to go. 2.4 seconds to go on the scoreboard clock. Conway took their timeout, and so now Will Hogue will get a chance to come out and kick a field goal. He is 6 of 8 on the season, and he will be kicking once again. The direction the Cats are going right now is into the heavy rain and the wind.
And I want to give some props to Giovanni there. We talk about it all the time, how incredibly intelligent he is. They're running that wheel route over to the left, which usually when they run it, it's almost always wide open.
Yeah.
But it was not there. He doesn't force anything. And he smartly decides, hey, I'm going to pull this down, get a few more yards, try and give Will as much room as we can.
So they're going to put the ball down at the 26-yard line. That's where Nick McEwen will hold it. So a 36-yard attempt from the left hash mark into heavy rain and wind. We'll see if Will Hogue can connect. He's 6 of 8 on the year, along a 42.
Going against the wind and the rain.
And another timeout called by Fort Smith Southside. They're not wet enough. Rather extend this a little bit more. Coming up at halftime, it's the Conway Regional Health System halftime show. We're going to spend a little bit of time. There's no band to show you or anything, but we do want to spend a little bit of time telling you about what's been happening with some of our student athletes over the past couple of weeks. You talked about Giovanni Johnson's intelligence, the way he plays football. Well, that carries over to every aspect of his life, and we'll show you what the story is with that coming up at halftime. And also, if you happen to be the parent of an elementary school student, they may have come home last week saying, I don't know who they were, but there were some Wampus Cat boys and some Lady Cat girls who were at school. A really, really cool thing that happened with the Wampus Cat football team and then the Wampus Cat basketball and Lady Cat basketball team last week, and we'll show you some pictures of that. That was a really, really cool moment. Plus, we'll check halftime scores from around the state in the 7A as we are into conference action as of today. All right, 36-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. Reed Hughes snaps, Nick McEwen holds. Will Hogue kicks. How about Will Hogue? Will Hogue, what a weapon. And the Cats will go to the halftime locker room leading 24-13. It is time now for the Conway Regional Health System halftime show.
That would be insane.
All right, and welcome back to Fort Smith. I believe we're on the air.
It was a wild halftime.
Yes, it was. Multiple those alt-controlled elites we were talking about earlier. So we haven't missed any game action though. So unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to show you some of the photos we wanted to show you, but we'll try to work those in as we can here as the game goes on. But we are set to go to begin the second half. Will Hoag's going to kick off. It's 24-13. Do you have any first half stats you want to mention?
Yeah, 227 yards rushing for this
Wow.
Conway Wampus Cat offense. I mean, that's really where all of the offensive production is coming from. 121 yards for Giovanni Johnson, 3 scores. And Kerry McLean not too far behind, 70 yards on 9 carries. And big field goal there to end the first half. I was talking to Stats during halftime, and you really want to have – oh, here we go, another fumble.
Loose ball. Huge hit.
They did it again.
Reed Hughes thinks Conway has it, and they do.
They did it again.
Huge
Wow.
play. I'm telling you, I think anybody that's going to get close to a kickoff should have to run home. I mean, just get as far away from it as you can on either side.
It's just nearly impossible to catch an oblong, slippery object. And, I'm not sure who recovered it. Stats needed help with the recovery. I don't
not
know.
sure.
A lot of Wampus Cats celebrating over there. They were all acting like they recovered it.
The team did, yes. Giovanni Johnson, 1st and 10. The handoff to Kerry McLean. Kerry McLean slung out of bounds. Weindahl on the stop. The Cats scored 19 seconds into the game. 1st and goal, 13 seconds into the second half. McLean again. Kerry McLean dives close, still fighting. The flag comes in. You see it flying at the feet of Martez Gaston.
Maybe a face mask. What I was saying is Stats and I were talking at halftime, and Stats astutely pointed out, Southside, you want to have a 2-score lead on this type of team at all times, just because the ability that they have to score quickly, you just want that cushion.
Yes.
And Conway here with even more opportunity to add to the cushion.
Leading 24-13. Opening kickoff of the second half, fumbled. Conway recovered. Ball just outside the 2-yard line. The Cats with a chance to score once again. Half a minute into the second half. L.J. Hansberry, you said it in the first half, has done a great job snapping the ball to that man, Giovanni Johnson, who has matched the number on his back with the number of touchdowns tonight. 4 touchdowns on the ground for Giovanni Johnson.
And you really can't overstate it as a center, how hard it is to be snapping in this style of offense. Every snap in these wet conditions, and we haven't seen a bad snap yet.
And it's raining harder, and you can finally you can finally see it. It felt like it was raining hard when we started. It is definitely coming down now. And that extra point is good by Will Hoag as he remains perfect on the year for point after touchdowns. And the Wampus Cats have extended their lead 31-13, just 35 seconds into the second half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in the state for women's health. Plus, we're the only hospital in Conway using state-of-the-art 3D mammography. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. You're our number one. And for us, that's the number one worth celebrating. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Will Hogue to kick off. Conway up 31-13 in a downpour in western Arkansas. Fort Smith Southside is where we are, and another kickoff, and these have become all kinds of interesting. That one is taken cleanly. Shane Smith and Moore. Riley White looked like he was there also. Savoy returns, and the Southside Mavericks have it 1st and 10.
That sound you heard was a collective sigh of relief from the Southside fans.
Yes.
We fielded a ball cleanly. It's difficult. There's no other way to describe it.
It's the whole slippery hand syndrome.
And you just kind of expect that, hey, there's going to be turnovers, and you just try and have fewer turnovers than the other team when you're playing in rain like this.
31-13, the Cats are on top. We talked earlier about Tay Gatewood and about his Conway connection. You mentioned his mom. My buddy Kevin Leach let me know about another connection. It's his dad. There's Tay Gatewood right there. Tay's dad, Roy Gatewood, graduated from Conway in '93, and you mentioned his mom's Tessa James Gatewood. She's a '94 graduate. So Tay's mom and dad are former Wampus Cats.
Checking in on Facebook. Biscuit's mom and dad watching from home tonight. Go
nice.
Big Blue. Love my Cats.
Good to hear from them. And thanks to all of you who are checking in tonight on Twitter, 5 Sports Live. Find us on Facebook. Another fumble. Randy Thomas says it's a Wampus Cat football. Corlin McKinney does. Anybody in a striped shirt? Yes, sir.
Wow.
Another fumble. How about Roman Aaron coming out of there with it? Stepped up from his safety spot, got the turnover, and the Cats are in business again.
Well, I was keeping up with the turnover differential coming into the game.
Right.
I have no idea where it's at now, but I feel like we're back in the positive.
I do too.
Maybe just +1.
Yeah.
But
we will actually be in a dry press box next week, no matter what the conditions are. So, yeah, our stat game will be much more consistent. I haven't written anything down. I can't tell you the last time I broadcast a game without making some sort of note, but it's impossible tonight. All right, handoff. Kerry McLean. Kerry inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Wampus Cats. Cats are on top 31-13. They're going to go fast.
Yeah, they're playing like sharks, man. Sensing that blood. You can see just the way McLean was running there. He's running hard. Wants to put the dagger down.
L.J. Hansberry, the center. Giovanni Johnson to Kerry McLean inside the 5. Tackle made by Eli Lyles. 2nd down and goal.
Well, feels like we were just here, Jeff.
It does. It does.
Are we about to see touchdown number 5?
Think Giovanni's going to share the love at all?
Well,
we still have to
not
tell
when
you.
We're in this formation.
That's true. Giovanni Johnson scores his 5th touchdown of the night. Giovanni Johnson, your senior quarterback, who also just happens to have a 4.2 grade point average, has scored a 34 in his ACT. In the last couple of weeks, it's been learned that he, along with a few other Wampus Cats right there, Giovanni Johnson standing in the back there, a Facebook post from Conway Public Schools, that he, along with those other students, are National Merit Scholars. That's your quarterback doing that. With 5 touchdowns tonight, Will Hogue's extra point is true, and the Cats are rolling. 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the second half, and Conway's on top 38-13. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Protect your family from fire with Conway Corp Home Security. Install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors that are monitored 24/7. Stay safe at home and get alerts when you're away. Plus monitoring from your mobile device anytime. We make it easy to protect the things that matter and the ones who matter most. Safety for you, powered by us.
9:55 to play in the second half. This feels like the first half because Conway scored quickly at the start of the first half as well. Scored 14 straight before the Mavericks scored 13 unanswered to make it a 1-point game. Since then, it's been all Wampus Cats, leading 38-13 now, just 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, 4 fumbles from Southside, 2 here just in the last few minutes of gameplay.
And that was almost disaster again. Cole Altus was one of the Mavericks there, the taller of the two that were trying to get to it. So he gathered it up, and the Mavericks have the football. I hate to laugh because it could just as easily be us.
Oh, yeah.
What a
well,
mess.
It has been.
And it has been, you're right.
At times tonight. We've just gotten on the beneficial side of it here. Really, I mean, Southside scored early in the second quarter, and since then we've scored 24 unanswered points.
Gatewood keeps. Brought down by Reed Hughes. 7-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 3.
Nice message being shared with us here. Diane Robinson on the Conway School Board.
Okay.
As I sit in my warm, dry house watching the Wampus Cats play in the pouring rain in Fort Smith, I'm again grateful for the community support our schools receive in the form of live coverage from Conway Corp. Very nice.
We're glad to do it. Glad to play our part for sure. Savoy right up the middle and thrown back. It will be 3rd down.
This Conway defense now can shift gears a little bit. I mean, you still want to be aggressive, but just don't give up any big plays. Don't give them any chance or opportunity of feeling like they can get back in this game because there's still a lot of time left.
And especially with this offense that they have, Gatewood is as good as there is and can go the distance quickly. You want to keep him bottled up. 3rd down and 3. Pass complete. That's Jordan Jackson.
Pass complete, number 6, Jordan Jackson.
Last year, he had a huge game in that 54-47 double overtime win for the Wampus Cats. Jackson caught 3 balls for 150 yards last year, so 50 yards of average per catch, and scored 2 touchdowns against Conway last year. First and 10 for the Wampus Cats. We really do appreciate you guys watching back home. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your kind words. It is great to be involved. Gatewood throwing deep for Jackson. A little bit short. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Southside trying to pull out some deep plays out of the playbook just to get something going here. They had the coverage beat on that one. It's not quite accurate enough on the pass.
2nd down and 10. Gatewood throws. Pass complete to Solomon. And Tez Miller got to him first and then knocked out of bounds. Tommy Grady's over there.
Solomon forced out on the near sidelines by number 24.
It's going to be enough for a 1st down. It's 1st and 10. Tommy Grady got the start tonight at corner in place of Darius Washington. Seen Darius come in at different times tonight. Gatewood throws again, complete to Solomon. Flag comes in. Spin and a big hit. Tez Miller brought him down inside the 10, but we'll check the flag.
Yeah, I think this one might be coming back.
We didn't get a chance at halftime, but with this being the opening night of conference season, I'd be curious to know some of the other scores that we've got. I know Levi was looking at those at halftime. We never were able to get those on, so we'll take a look at those after this drive ends and see what else is going on. Three other games?
A few games delayed, so.
Okay, so there are some delays.
Some of these Central Arkansas games dealing with some lightning.
Okay. Yeah, we have definitely dodged a big-time bullet here because it has rained and rained pretty heavily throughout the night. But we have had no lightning within the perimeter that is necessary for a delay. So we have gotten very lucky. 8 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, Bentonville, we'll just go ahead and
Yeah, you can
listen
do
to
these
these
now.
Benville up 37-0 on Harbor. Bryant 16-7 over Northside, but that game is delayed, as well as Cabot and Catholic delayed in Cabot, tied at 7. Bentonville West, a 21-14 lead over Fayetteville at halftime.
Bit of a surprise there.
And yeah, North Little Rock up 28-6 on Central. It says it's in the second quarter. I'm assuming that's probably at the half
Delayed,
now.
yeah.
Or, probably delayed as well.
Yeah, a lot of lightning apparently in central Arkansas. We're in western Arkansas, right on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border at Fort Smith Southside. The way the schedule shakes out, we make a trip to Fort Smith every year. It's just 1 year at Southside, another year it's Northside. And so last year we were across town, and we'll go back there next season. A lot of stuff going on in the field.
Yeah, we're not sure. This angle's a little difficult for us. We're not sure who was offsides there.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Our cameras are right to our left, just to our left. And we're about, what would you say, 8 or 9 rows up off the field. And so normally our cameras are very much higher looking down on the field, you can see, but it's a little tougher angle. Corlin McKinney got close to Tay Gatewood. And there's another flag on the field.
This is kind of similar to where we were at in this point. Well, not at this point of the game 2 weeks ago, but pretty close in the second half.
Yeah.
Started seeing more flags, little bit of chippiness maybe out on the field.
Yeah.
And this is something that this Conway team really needs to work on. Of course, this one not against the Wampus Cats here, but
illegal man downfield against the Mavericks.
I'm really impressed with the traveling crowd tonight.
I am too.
I think we've probably got as many fans as Southside has here.
That was exactly what I was about to say. That there are as many Conway fans here as there are Southside fans here. And we know there's a bunch of you back home watching tonight as well. So thank you for paying attention to this team and being a part of the community of Wampus Cat Athletics. Gatewood throwing for the end zone for Solomon. Pass a little high. Tez Miller on the coverage. It's second down. We mentioned the game that Jordan Jackson had a year ago, scoring twice against Conway. Tyrese Solomon actually scored against the Wampus Cats as well. That 54-47 game, Jordan Wicks, the kick at just as the clock was winding down that tied the game, sent it to overtime. And then a second overtime where we scored, and then 4 great stops inside the 10-yard line, a couple inside the 5. Gave the Wampus Cats the win in the conference opener a year ago. Fumble on the play.
Again. Cats do it again.
Flag comes in. Now there's all kinds. Now there is a mess over there. You got to clean that up. The official pulling the Southside player off, and then a Conway coach pulling the Conway player off. And you mentioned the chippiness and the frustrations that are boiling over here.
I mean, you like when your team plays with a little edge, but there's no point.
That's right.
At this part of the game, the kind of lead you have, it's just not necessary.
So
and I wouldn't be surprised if we might have a few ejections here.
Yeah, the way the officials, obviously they throw their flag for the first, and Coach Fimple is going to bring everybody around him and talk to him right now. And Coach Williams is doing the same thing across the field. Again, if you missed that part of our story earlier tonight, these two head coaches are best friends. They talk practically daily. In fact, I know there's been a couple of times when I've gone to do my coach's interview at 1 o'clock on Thursday, and Coach Fimple will walk in and say, "I'm sorry, I was talking to Coach Williams." And he's on the phone with him on Thursday. He's who he talks to, and they have spent holidays together. They were roommates in college, and the last thing they want is for the two teams that they lead to play that way on the field, because that's certainly not the men that they are. But sometimes you're out there and your blood starts boiling, and you're out there hitting each other, and it's been raining for 3 straight hours on you, and sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah, The problem is
they'll straighten it out.
It's going to come back to bite them in an important moment at some point.
Yes. Coach Hughes talking to his guys. Now the players are going to rally around each other. See how this all shakes out. Coach Fimple talking to Roman Aaron. Unsportsmanlike conduct, both sides.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct.
But the fumble was recovered by the Wampus Cats, so it is Conway football, 1st and 10. And as far as we can tell, no ejections.
Might just be a warning for both. Got a Conway High senior Jevin Womack cheering on the Wampus Cats from the Children's Hospital tonight.
Okay.
Saying thanks to 5 Sports Live.
Yeah, glad to be able to do that. Get well soon. Find us on Twitter, 5 Sports Live, or on Facebook. Also a live chat over there on the YouTube. Try to keep up with that. It's hard to. You actually need one person just to do this. Maybe we should take applications or something.
For a YouTube chat monitor?
For all of it. Because doing these games live, we have a lot of interaction with folks. Conway football, 1st and 10. Giovanni Johnson will hand off. That is Bryce Bohannon. Be a short gain. I say short gain, out to the 25. Darren Davenport on the stop for the Mavericks. Conway's on top, 38-13. 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6. Giovanni Johnson, senior quarterback that has scored 5 touchdowns tonight, hands off to Bryce Bohannon. Bryce Bohannon to the 35, move the chains. That's a Conway Regional Health System 1st down.
Number 20, Bryce Bohannon, the ball carrier.
And they want to. I mean, they're really have developed into this 3-headed, sometimes 4-headed monster rushing attack between Giovanni and McLean, and Bailey's had a few good rushes tonight, and Bohannon.
Stats is winding the clock. That's all we want. Get that clock running. 38-13 lead. Again, Bohannon. Bryce Bohannon into the secondary across midfield. Finally brought down out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Move the chains again for the Cats. Mason Gregory on the stop for the Mavericks.
I mean, when you can bring in Bohannon as a 3rd back option in the second half when the defense is tired.
Right. Well, and all 3 of them, I mean, eliminating Giovanni from that, but McLean, Bailey, and Bohannon, all 3 are such different runners. Bohannon kicking it outside, looking for the edge. Gregory brings him down at the 29. Flag comes in. And Kerry McLean is more of a traditional straight-ahead, hard-charging, legs-pumping runner, kind of more of a stand-up style. You've got Luke Bailey, who's lower. He's got a low center of gravity. He's got great vision. You see the things that he's able to do. And you got Bohannon, who's got speed on speed, who he finds the edge. He's going to get 15, 20 yards without really thinking about it. All 3 of them are different, and all 3 of them being fresh is a problem for defenses.
Ball moves back to the 40-yard line.
Ball at the 40-yard line following the penalty against the Cats.
1st down and 12.
1st down and 12 from the 40-yard line. Will McKenna and Nick Richmond are to the near side. H-back is Nick Tufu. Handoff to Kerry McLean. Here's a hard-charging Kerry McLean. Does not go down easily. Picks up a couple of yards. It will be 2nd down.
Ball carrier number 30.
Zalvensis pulling guard on that play, making some space over there.
Tackle for Southside, number 27, Bennett Windell.
Windell on the stop, and you see Kerry McLean come off, and Bryce Bohannon comes back on.
We might need to hire Ellen Turney as like a historical representative. She's given us all kinds of facts and figures.
She told us earlier that Hayes Denton's grandfather played for the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was that. What else is she giving
Now
us?
she's telling us Bryce Bohannon's father, Melvin, is a 2004 inductee into the UCA Hall of Fame
Nice.
for football.
We'll have to give her some researcher credits or something in the end of the ball game. It has our names and all the camera people and everybody, and then say Ellen Turney.
Ball marked at the 38-yard
Tequila Pickram saying, I need a shout out. I'm 23's mom.
We should do that. You just gave it to her.
I did.
When you read a tweet, therefore a shout out. Pass incomplete. That's Jabrian Earl's mom.
Jabrian Earl.
Yeah, who would be the next running back.
Yes.
Once they get past these three that we've seen a lot tonight, Jabrian Earl will be next.
And we saw him a few times during non-conference. You never know when you'll be the next man up.
Jabrian's got some good size. Seeing him walking around over here. Like I need to tell his mom that he's 5'9", 200 pounds. She knows. She
She's
feeds
probably,
him.
yeah. See him. You should see him eat. You should see her grocery bill.
4,000 calories a day. Man, that'd be the life, wouldn't it? Not really. They work so hard. These people, these players can put away some food.
It would be the life if you could just eat that.
That's
and
true.
Not have to do anything. Roughing the kicker. That
Nick
flag's coming out.
McEwen punts, and a roughing the punter penalty. Going to be Conway. He's keeping it.
Ball goes dead at the 10-yard line. There is a flag near midfield.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? Is that the first punt of the night?
For Conway?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought this was the first time we called Nick's name as the punter tonight. Roughing the kicker. And
Yes,
the Wampus Cat offense back on the field.
that was the first punt for
Okay.
Conway. Well, that's a nice break.
So with 4:42 to play in the third quarter, Cats are back on the field offensively. I saw some of the Classy students are in some sort of camouflaged sleeveless shirt thing. I don't know exactly what their theme is tonight. I forgot to check.
Maybe like an Ozark theme.
Maybe a little, Ozarkian. But I did see a couple of them who were using the hot air hand dryer in the bathroom
to dry
to
off.
dry off. They were taking turns ducking under it. Proud of those guys.
Ooh. Wow.
The headline there is no fumble, because that was a big hit. Bohannon holds on to it.
We did see some other former Wampus Cats tonight coming by from,
Yeah.
most of them from going to school in Fayetteville now. We saw He Only Does Everything, Will Kennedy.
Will Kennedy, right?
Then we saw Scott Ashby and Noah. I'm forgetting the
Noah
last
Layton.
name. You'll have to help me there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Noah
sorry.
Layton.
Yep.
This was the closest game for them this season, regular season.
That's right.
You know, we might be back up here again come November.
Could be. Second down. Second and 11 following the 1-yard loss. Giovanni gets brought down at the 30-yard line. It's third down and long. Jeremiah Van Hook with the stop.
Looked like there might be a little bit of confusion in that one. Stalled out a few times on this possession. Got the roughing the punter to keep things going. But really, no matter what happens, this drive has been successful because it has taken a lot of time off the clock.
Cats up 38-13, and yeah, any time that runs off the clock is just to the advantage of the Wampus Cats. 15 and a half minutes to play in the game. Giovanni rolls left. Now he'll throw.
You know, I was thinking about this 5 rushing touchdowns for Giovanni. The last time we saw a Wampus Cat with 5 rushing touchdowns, if I can remember correctly. I'm not sure if Michael George did it last year or not.
I don't think he got 5.
But Kevin Chamorro.
And
it was a night very much like this in this part of the state.
Yes.
2014 at Greenwood. Of course, he had 3 times the amount of yards rushing.
That was an unbelievable night. Chaco. So it's fourth down. Yeah, I'd have to look through a lot of research to find if, but I think you're right. I don't remember another 5
the only
rushing
one
touchdown
that
night.
could have done it would have been Michael George last season, but I don't recall him having 5 touchdowns. He had,
huge
some,
yardages every night.
some big nights. But
Right. All right, so on fourth down, Cats are going to go for it, 4th and 16. Giovanni Johnson will run and will slide down, taken down at the 21-yard line, and that's where the Mavericks will take over 1st and 10. So the Wampus Cats up big, came out on fire here in the first half, scored 2 touchdowns quickly. Now the defense back on the field. They have not been on the field very much in this second half.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go back and see when exactly the last time Southside scored, because it was pretty early in the second quarter.
It was. 1st and 10, Gatewood will hand the ball off. Reed Hughes is going to track him down. That's Jay Washington, the sophomore running back that they like a lot. Be enough for a first down. Reed Hughes makes the stop for the Wampus Cats.
So since I can't find the exact time, but it was early in the second quarter. Since then, the Cats 24 unanswered points.
Darius Washington is in the game, number 5. Again, that's Washington, Jay Washington, sophomore running back.
Some Maverick lost a shoe out there.
Big shoe.
Offensive lineman. See him trying to get it back right there.
His name is John Terrius Washington, but I was not disappointed when they said that everybody calls him Jay. Jay Washington, number 3. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. The Wampus Cats looking to improve to 4-0, hosting the state champions next Friday night. Gatewood will keep. Reed Hughes will slow him down, and then he gets to the 39-yard line, short of a first down, so it's 3rd down.
You know, other than that second scoring drive for Southside, this Conway defense has done a good job containing Tay Gatewood. He had 92 yards rushing in pretty much all in the first half. I mean, he's done a little bit here.
Pressure. Dwayne Smith got to him, but not before he completed the pass to Jay Washington. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Reed Hughes gets the stop, but moved the chains for Southside. It's 1st and 10. They've kept Jay Washington on the sideline most of the first 3 quarters of the game, but he's provided a little spark here offensively. Gatewood will throw. Pressure. Steps away from it. Nice move. Moves like that is why he'll get some of his college paid for.
Yeah,
not
right.
all of it, because he's really good. He's got some Division II offers that he has received to this point. Had some interest from Arkansas State, and Tulsa. UCA also has shown some interest.
It's a dynamic rusher, that's for sure. We were kind of, alternate history at halftime. We're like, what if his parents are from Conway? What if they had stayed in Conway and we'd have Giovanni and Tay Gatewood?
Class of 93 and 94 as mom and dad respectively. Fumble on the play. Still loose. Jordan Jackson will get it and advance it inside the 30-yard line. Washington just popped it out of his hands.
Conway looked primed for the 5th fumble recovery. It was right there for him.
(38-13).
Rain update. It's still raining.
It is still raining, but not as hard.
Not as hard. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we had mentioned it as it increased every time. I guess we should give some credit also to the decreasing rain. Gatewood stands up. Throw complete to the 20.
That's my weather on the 5.
Is it?
Channel 5.
Okay. Solomon on the stop. Parker Prock make the stop.
Ball marked at the 20. Second down in the short.
Wasn't last Friday night really nice?
No. I mean, it was.
I mean, weather-wise.
Oh, weather-wise. I thought you were talking about not having a game. It was
No,
it was
you
strange.
You're very aggressive in that
Well,
answer.
I just felt so weird last week not having a game.
Gatewood. One hops it to his receiver, incomplete.
And don't get me wrong, if is there a flag?
There is a flag. Don't get me wrong, what?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, if my family hears this, I enjoyed being with my family last Friday night, but I was having a little bit of anxiety around 6:45.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like those dreams where you're trying to get somewhere and you can't get there in time. Those stress dreams.
Right.
I was having a waking stress dream of I should be at John McConnell Stadium right now, and I'm not there.
I was on my way to my 30th high school reunion last weekend, which worked out perfect on our weekend off. And my girlfriend and I had stopped just outside of Tulsa to have some Billy Sims barbecue. He was my first Oklahoma Sooner hero, so his barbecue had to be good, and it was delicious. And you texted me while I was sitting there, and you were like, this feels so weird.
It's weird.
Like it's 6:37 or whatever it was on Friday night, and we're not moments away from a broadcast. But we will be for the rest of the season, 7 straight weeks of conference games and into the playoffs, and every game live this year.
And you had some interesting feedback from Coach. I'm assuming it was in the coaches show at the beginning about how they just treated it like a normal week. The only thing that was different for them was that they didn't have a game Friday.
That's exactly right. They treated it like a normal week. Part of what they did, which we didn't get a chance to show you at halftime, is that there was a day that a lot of the football players and basketball players, both boys and girls, went and opened doors for a lot of the elementary school kids. And if we get a chance to show you that later, we will, but we may not have the chance this week. We could show you next week. Final few seconds here of the third quarter. Tay Gatewood brought down inside the 5. We'll see if the clock runs out here, and nope, 0.6 of a second. Now it runs out, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. It's 38-13, and we're really excited to introduce you to the newest member of our 5 sports team. His name is Mason Choate. Mason's a senior at Conway High School. He's going to intern with us the rest of this season. He's going to have the Wampus Cat report every single week between the third and fourth quarter. All right, Mason, let's go to you.
Thanks, Jeff. The Conway volleyball team played on Tuesday against Mount St. Mary's. Led by seniors Carly Ferguson and Maddie Fairchild, the team improved to 11-4 on the season and 5-1 in conference. Next Tuesday, they'll take on Fort Smith Southside, who is 17-2 on the year with a 6-0 conference record. The tennis team had a busy week this week, having matchups on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Next Tuesday, they'll travel to Bryant to end off their regular season. The boys and girls cross-country team will travel to Fayetteville on Saturday for the Chili Pepper meet. The girls' team is led by senior Kate Frialdenhoven and junior Sarah Holman, while the boys' team look to continue their hot start this weekend in Fayetteville. That's it for the Wampus Cat Report. For Channel 5 Sports, I'm Mason Choate.
There you go. There's our new – I'm excited about that. Mason Choate. Great kid. He's a senior, loves sports and loves what we do, and so he wanted to be a part of this, and so we were able to work it out. Really fun for us to have a student that's going to be involved in our broadcast and giving us some updates on some of the other athletes that are a part of the Wampus Cat and Lady Cats.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys doing that because, 10 years ago, I was a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to reach out to an editor of a new magazine and send her some sample writing. I hadn't even been published yet,
Yeah,
Jeff.
really? Not even
Sent these stories, articles I'd written about UCA athletes for some college classes. Sent that to Sonia Keith, and got my start.
Yeah.
And then the following year, I got to get involved with Conway Corp. And so you just never know where this stuff goes.
Absolutely. We're excited to have Mason Choate being a part of that. I want to say thank you to him. And you could tell how shifty Tay Gatewood was because our camera operator thought that he had gone to the left as well. Into the end zone. You hear the cannon go off, and it's a touchdown for Tay Gatewood. Wanted to mention not only Mason, we appreciate him and his report, but also Coach Janet Taylor and the coaches for volleyball, tennis, and cross country, all providing us some photography from their particular sports and getting information there. And you'll see those every week between the third and fourth quarter. The Wampus Cat Report with Mason Choate.
And, the other thing we've been doing at the home games at halftime, we've been interviewing coaches from other sports during halftime. And I'm excited to do that again next week. I can't remember who's on tap
I don't
this
remember.
week.
So far you've talked to tennis?
Tennis and cross country.
Cross country.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that basketball is the last home game.
That is correct. Yes. Coach Nance and Coach Longing should both be there. Coach Hutchcraft. I believe Ashley's going by
That's
Coach
true.
Hutchcraft.
Yeah, I've had to correct
I guess since her dad retired, now she's the only Coach Hutchcraft.
Carrying on that legacy.
Yeah, heck yeah. She will continue to have the success, I'm sure. Lady Cats basketball is going to be fun this year.
Oh!
So will the Wampus Cats. It is blocked and no good. Special teams doing a great job tonight. 38-19 is our score. 11:52 to play in the fourth quarter. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
From setting the budget to signing the papers, we guide you through the home buying process and get you the key. Making better happen with First Security.
38-19 is our score. An update on the classy students. We called it Ozarkian. It's actually redneck.
Well, I was thinking hillbilly,
Oh, okay.
But, I don't like to say Ozark or hillbilly as a,
That's
as a
right,
Clarksville
as a
person,
Clarksville.
but,
But yeah, redneck is there, and a good job. So they were dressed appropriately tonight, and they are soaked, and I'm sure those will be some good-smelling cars going back down I-40.
I'm sure a few of them just came dressed like they normally would.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're in the heart of the South. I'm sure there's a few genuine rednecks down there
38
cheering
to
them on
19.
tonight.
Or
Yeah.
how are things on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot? Anybody else checking in?
It's gotten a little quiet the last quarter.
Yeah.
Because things have kind of slowed down on the field a little bit.
Yes.
Conway trying to go on these long drives, eat up a lot of clock. But just, more fans checking in. I did get a note from Karen McNutt.
Yes.
A colleague of mine.
What'd she have to say?
Axiom. She's just saying thanks.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, friend, for thanks to all the Five Sports crew bringing the game back home to Conway on a rainy night.
And it is worth mentioning once again, our crew, the majority of our crew comes early, and they left Conway at noon today. And when it was really coming down, we're putting up tents, taping up tarps, protecting the equipment and us from the elements.
Yeah, it's funny because people think us like we had anything to really do with it. It's really the crew.
It's the crew.
They get here so early. They put in so much work. Then just tonight's been crazy with the environment and the elements, trying to keep the game on live. So really all the credit goes to them.
Kerry McLean with a big run. Crosses the 40-yard line to the 41. And it is 1st and 10 at Conway Regional Health System, first down.
These Cats, I was going to say with that blocked extra point, they just, man, here we go. Kerry McLean now with the lead rushing. He's come from behind. He's got 131 yards on 15 carries. Giovanni, 129 on 19. Of course, Giovanni, slight lead on the touchdowns, 5 to 0. But
yeah, it's been 5 touchdowns for Giovanni Johnson and a long field goal into the rain and the wind by Will Hogue. And 5 extra points by Will. Those are the 38 points for the Cats.
And we said this right from the outset, but I'll say it again. I mean, you saw it right there. It had a perfect angle. Kerry has played so smartly tonight with the way he's been protecting the ball. And we've seen fumbles all over the field.
Right, but not one from him,
Not
right?
one from Kerry. He's done such a great job tonight keeping that ball safe.
McLean crosses the 50-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Wandell on the stop.
Not how he normally runs. You know, I mean, any other night without the rain, he would carry it in one arm and have a much different rhythm to the way he's running.
Yeah.
But
Nick Richmond and Will McKenna have both had quiet nights tonight, understandably so.
Yeah, that's an interesting night for receivers because it's definitely not the normal game plan for them.
Giovanni Johnson will hand off again to Kerry McLean, and there is room. Kerry battling inside the 40-yard line, down at the 37. Wampus Cats looking good tonight. I do want to update you on a couple of things real quickly, and I would love, this is where we could really use some help from some fans back home. How did the junior high, the 8th and 9th grade, white side do, and the blue side 9th grade? Those are the scores I'm looking for. I can tell you the blue side 8th grade just demolished Cabot last night. They looked great. Kendon Millwood, who's an 8th grade running back, 4 touchdowns, looked really, really good. Then the 9th grade blue played after that, but we had gone to dinner, so I didn't get to see how that one shook out. And then the 8th and 9th grade white side were over in Cabot playing the other Cabot junior high.
You have an assignment.
That's Conway.
Let us know.
Get on it, please.
Gabe Crawford watching from Conway cross-country team.
Oh, that's great. Appreciate that. Part of Mason Choate's report between the 3rd and 4th quarters. 9 minutes to play. Conway up 38-19. On the ground. Look at Luke Bailey. Great run by Luke Bailey.
You nailed it earlier when you were describing the running styles of all this three-headed monster rushing attack. He brings such a different energy, just low and fast, and those feet just moving so fast.
And the way that they run, and this is kind of some inside baseball here, but we rely on the numbers that the players wear on their jerseys to tell who they are. Well, you can tell who our running backs are based on their style as much as you can the number on their back.
So McLean 153, Johnson 129, Bailey 54, and Bohannon 48 rushing yards tonight.
Bailey inside the 20. Brought down by Darren Davenport.
Luke Bailey, the ball carrier.
But the reason I wanted to know about the other junior high teams, because obviously tonight the Wampus Cats are 8 minutes away from going 4-0. I know I saw a great 8th grade game last night. Conway 8th grade blue looked great. Some good football being played. Your UCA Bears are playing some good football.
My UCA.
I know they are. I know they're your UCA Bears.
I love how Braylon's gotten off to such a good start.
He's playing great. Bryce Bohannon puts his head and shoulders down, hits the pylon. Was he down? Yep, down inside the 2.
I think you should give him some points just for that nice finish there.
1st and goal.
You're not expecting Bryce to run over someone.
Right.
1st and goal for Conway.
Cats up 38-19. So if there was any concern about the week off, that's been put to rest.
Right.
This team has picked right back up where they left off.
402 rushing yards now tonight.
Wow. Over 400 yards rushing.
And 9 yards passing. But we're not going to talk about that. I mean, it's raining, guys.
And Giovanni Johnson's trying to get number 6.
Oh, wow.
And he does. Giovanni Johnson, 6 rushing touchdowns tonight for the senior quarterback, Giovanni Johnson.
And as great as he's been, again, you can't overstate it enough. This offensive line up front
have been fantastic. You don't rush for over 400 yards and have a weak offensive line.
Yeah, no doubt. And they've been able to stay healthy. That's been the biggest key in these first 4 games, and then having that week off.
Will Hogue, line drive, extra point is good. And the Cats with 7:19 to play are up 45-19. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Helton's Wrecker U-Haul has the service you need. Whatever the automotive problem, Helton's has the diagnostics to repair it. If you're moving across town or across country, Helton's is your #1 choice for U-Haul in Conway. We have a wide selection of packing supplies for every aspect of your move. Also, we sell and install hitches. Call 327-4696 for a quote. At Helton's Wrecker U-Haul, we are always on our toes. Give us a call at 327-7681.
45-19, the Wampus Cats, your varsity Wampus Cats are up big. I understand we've got some scores?
Yeah, our Conway Wampus Cat fans watching online and watching on Channel 5,
Yep.
585.
Love that.
We gave them an assignment, and they're reliable students.
What'd you learn?
Well, Conway White, 9th grade, beat Cabot 31-28 on a last-second field goal by Nate Hutchins.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Look at that.
Conway 9th grade Blue lost to Cabot 36-6, but we're not gonna dwell on that too much.
And do we have an 8th grade White score? That's the one we're missing.
Oh, not yet.
Okay, somebody will find it.
I got two people, Kennedy Lee and Heather Roach, gave me the Conway White update.
So they knew about that. Okay.
And Dylan Flusmeyer got me the Conway 9th grade Blue score.
Very good.
Still waiting on an 8th grade. Oh, just wait for that 8th grade Blue to get to high school, is what Tanya Fitzgerald said.
Hey, I'm
great
telling you,
athletes coming up.
That 8th grade Blue team is good. I'm a little biased. My girlfriend's son plays middle linebacker, and so we've watched them pretty closely and gotten to see these kids play through the years. There is some real talent on the way, in addition to all the other talent that you're seeing on the field tonight and have for years. It is definitely fun to be a part of this. And Levi, you mentioned it a moment ago, or it was earlier tonight, felt like a moment ago, that it's such a community. And that's when you see people with their checking in with us, listening to the broadcast, coming up to us in Conway when we're back home. It's constant, and we are so thankful that you choose us to watch these games. And we certainly do appreciate that, and we don't take it lightly. We take it as seriously as these Wampus Cats do, and they're taking it real seriously tonight.
It's one of those unique situations where all these Northwest Arkansas teams, they've split out, right? You've got multiple schools in the same community.
Right.
And so that kind of divides your fan base a little bit. Conway, Cabot, Bryant, these teams in the Central still haven't had to do that, or haven't done that yet.
Right.
Maybe someday, I don't know. But so you still have a unified fan base in your town. It's a nice thing to have.
3rd down. Tay Gatewood looks left, hits his receiver Schwartz. And I think Tez Miller got the stop.
What was the other score your way?
I needed White, 8th grade White.
I've got Conway Blue, 8th grade.
Yeah, they won. What was the final score in that one? Like
44-16 over Cabot South.
Right.
Still waiting on that White score.
All right. Well, I'm going to sit right here until we find out. Unless we don't find out in the next 5.5 minutes, then I'm going to get my car and drive home to Conway.
Now here we go.
4th down.
Do you just fair catch and just let it go at this point?
I think both of our deep guys just run out of bounds, like right now. Bad snap. Conway's going to get it again. Great field position just outside the 20-yard line. It was Matt Lena there putting the pressure on the punter.
The other thing about this is, of course, the elements play a role, but it's just contagious. After that, that first bad snap on a punt, it starts to get in your head, and it becomes even harder mentally to overcome the elements, let alone physically. And man, Southside has just struggled here in the second half with getting clean snaps.
And with 5 minutes to go, we see some of the second teamers coming in. Nick McEwen in at quarterback. And this is where we'll try to do the best we can to make sure we get all these kids' names mentioned. Handoff. Is that our guy, Jay Brianero, we were talking about?
Number 22, Andrew Sides, the ball carrier.
22
is the ball carrier. That's Deonta Bennett. Senior was one of the captains tonight.
8th grade White lost 18-8.
All right. So we went 2 for 2 last night. Going to go 1-0 tonight.
Caden Singleton provided me that.
Thank you, Caden. I mean, between Ellen Turney and Caden Singleton.
And Kennedy Lee also.
And Kennedy Lee helping out. We sure love doing these games. We've done it for 18 years, but this year doing every game live has just been a whole different set of fun. Nick McEwen will hand off. That's Bennett.
And you know the second team wants to get in the end zone.
Absolutely.
I mean,
so you do not think that when they get close, they're going to put Giovanni back in?
no.
Yeah, me either. Deonta Bennett, 5'8", 160-pound senior running back.
Had a slew of new Wampus Cats coming in on this play, too.
Got Jaquarius Cersei's in the game, number 11. Chandler Richmond, number 84, is in the game. If we're going to keep going this deep on the roster, I'm going to have to use a bigger font on my roster. I'm struggling here. Now they're saying Andrew Sides is the ball carrier. He also wears number 22, but he's a sophomore. 5'8", 170 pounds. Okay. Quick, somebody on this. Is that Andrew Sides or is that Deonta Bennett? Bennett's a senior. I would think that they would give him a chance here in a game like this. He was the captain tonight. When you got two guys that play the same position, wear the same number, and are within 10 pounds of each other and the same height, a little hard to tell.
Andrew Sides once again the ball carrier, Ben Quigley.
Quigley on the stop. Final 3 minutes of the game. Davenport with the stop.
Mavericks take over on down.
And it's 1st and 10 now for the Mavericks, as on 4th down they take over. Well, it's a good problem to have when you're trying to figure out who the 5th running back of the night is. Cats are going to get this win, move to 4-0. More importantly, 1-0 in conference play. And they are playing with a boatload of confidence right now with the defending state champions coming in.
And it really all goes back to that next to last drive of the second quarter. I mean, Conway was driving down the field. They score with, 20, 30 seconds left.
And it was a 1-point game at that point. It's
right.
14-13.
So they get out by 8, and then that ensuing kickoff, Southside fumbles, we recover, and then we end up getting a field goal. It just continued.
Yeah.
The fumbles continued first up in the third quarter, and Conway just never looked back.
These Cats ranked number 4 in the state. There's about 3 polls. There's actually more than that, but there are 3 that I really pay attention to. The Democrat Gazette, Hooten's poll, and the Fearless Friday poll, which is now a part of the Arkansas Sports Media, which is a new poll this year. Kind of just taking all those 3 polls and giving some point values and just kind of coming up with.
Just making stuff up.
Basically, yeah. But, I mean, I'm taking those 3 polls, and Conway's 4, if you consider that. North Little Rock is the number 1 team, so next week at John McConnell Stadium, after almost a month away from home, the Cats are back home. A top 4 matchup of teams in the state. Hope that you will come out, and for some reason you can't, like you're in Israel or something, then you can watch the broadcast. We'll have the game for you live next week.
Jay Washington on the carry.
6:50 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff. Conway playing host to North Little Rock. Charging Wildcats team that beat us twice last year.
Ball marked at the 29-yard
Thanks
line.
And
for,
who's still really
reminding
good.
me. Yeah.
They have not lost anything.
Yeah, it'll be the toughest test by far for this Wampus Cat team.
Yes. Gatewood looking to throw. Pass is incomplete. Tipped by Caden Smith.
Got Anna Johnson and Sarah Holman, juniors.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Sarah
Holman.
Holman's a junior. She was part of the package. Yeah.
Part of Mason Choates.
For cross country, listening. Said thanks for the fun commentary.
Oh, nice. That's what we do.
I mean,
not
listen.
Not a whole lot of X's and O's you're going to get here.
There's a lot of things we could be doing on a Friday night.
This is on that list.
I'm having fun. I mean, this is,
yeah,
we have fun being here talking about these Wampus
And it's
Cats.
a lot more fun under this canopy tent. This would not be as much fun if we just sat for the last 3 hours out in the elements. What a big, big hit. That is Isaac Crow. Isaac Crow introducing himself to Connor Austin. Big hit.
Chris Reiner said it was Deon.
It was Deonta Bennett.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Number 22.
Yes. I thought that was him, but then the public address announcer calling him Andrew Sides, which is also a wearer of number 22. Tay Gatewood rolls left. He will fall at the 45-yard line.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd have Tay Gatewood out there at this point or any of my starters anymore.
Little surprised about that.
Just the wet field, you just never know what could happen.
That's right.
And they've got a lot more to play for the rest of the conference season.
Just as a reminder, now that we're into conference, obviously the games mean a whole lot more. The top 6 teams of the 8 teams in 7A Central all make the state final or state tournament. The top 2 teams get a bye into the second week. The top 4 teams are all guaranteed at least one home game. And so, yeah, to say that they have a lot to play for is definitely the case. But their starting quarterback still out there getting some reps.
Ball marked at the Conway 38-yard.
So once again, reminder, next Friday night, 1 week from tonight, North Little Rock is in town. We'd love for you to be out at the game, but if you can't make it for some reason, join us for the broadcast next week, 6:50 on the air, 7 o'clock with the kickoff. Incomplete pass. Final half minute to go here.
Had a number of number of fans chiming in that is Bennett.
Oh, good.
So
confirmed. Multiple times. Don't you? You're a journalist. Don't you need like 2 sources to go with something?
You would like to have at least 2, yes.
Ideally.
Yeah.
That's how they teach it. Well, we have multiple sources now telling us that was indeed Deonta. I wish he could have gotten the end zone. That would have been great for the senior on the night he was a captain. Gatewood stands up in the pocket and throws deep. Pass is incomplete. Another shout out to all of our crew. They got here early, and here in a little bit when we will, I would think we could be some help, but then there's a part of me that thinks the most help we can be is just to get out of the way.
Get out of the way, let them do their
job.
Exactly,
do what they do better than we ever could. But
as someone who was once on the crew, I can confirm that yes.
That is true.
Just move on.
Get out of the way.
Let them do what they need to do.
Well, we will do just that in a few moments, and we will dry off and be back in Conway next Friday night.
It was pass intended for number 88.
And this is the heart of the season for sure.
I'm really digging this electric down.
I know.
Marker.
I wanted to mention that earlier. I don't know if our camera guys can get a shot of it or not. But, yeah, that big-time shout-out to the technology. They're not going to show it, I guess. Just a little bit to the right.
You might see it this next play when we run.
It's a well-lit number 4.
I'm going to say some LED lights on that.
Yeah, it's
that
fancy.
Marker. It's nice. Stats thinks we have them in Conway.
He does? I thought we had the flip kind. Gatewood out of bounds. And that is going to be 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. And you see, well, at least we can see here on the sideline as players are standing. Maybe you'll see some stand here. And there's the number 1.
See how bright it is?
Yeah, that's fancy.
LEDs.
And you see a lot of the players standing with 2 fingers up, and that stands for the victory formation. The victory formation, as they will take a knee, and they will put on some dry clothes and hop on the bus and have a happy bus ride back. I know a lot of the players end up watching our broadcast on YouTube on the way home, so if some of you guys are awake at this point watching the game driving back home,
Yeah.
Congratulations. You played a great game tonight, and you're making us all very, very proud to be Wampus Cats, and we look forward to next Friday night. Final score is going to be 45-19. Nick McEwen takes a knee, and that's going to do it. Cats are 4-0. 1-0 in conference play. We'll take 30 seconds and wrap this one up from Fort Smith on Conway Corp Channel 5.
At Conway Regional, every day brings new challenges and celebrations. And one of those celebrations is being named the #1 hospital in Central Arkansas for coronary bypass surgery and cardiac care. While we're proud of our awards, our team is driven by something more. You. you're our number one. And for us, that's the number one worth celebrating. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
All right, final score 45-19. The Cats get the win. They're 4-0 and 1-0 in conference play, Levi.
Kerry McLean coming from behind here in the second half, taking the lead, rushing 18 carries, 153 yards. It was Giovanni Johnson, 20 carries, 130, 6 touchdowns tonight.
Wow.
65 rushing yards from Bryce Bohannon and 55 from Luke Bailey. And then Deontay Bennett coming in and getting 9 yards.
Yeah.
So over 400 yards rushing tonight for these Wampus Cats, and that's really where the bulk of the production on offense came. And 5 fumbles recovered by special teams and this defense.
Yeah. Opportunistic. You've said that for a couple of years about them, and they took advantage of it tonight when they could. And another really, really good effort. Congratulations to Coach Keith Fimple. As we've talked about, his best friend is the head coach of the other team, Fort Smith Southside. So Coach Fimple and Coach Williams will get a chance to visit. And Coach Fimple got the better of them tonight, 45-19 with the win. Congratulations to Conway and to Coach Fimple. And we will see you next Friday night, home against North Little Rock. Hope that you will make plans to join us, and either for the broadcast or in person to root on these Wampus Cats. Thank you so much for watching tonight. So many of you did. So many of you checked in with us. Thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate you being there and watching. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next Friday from home on Conway Corp Channel 5.